Today's episode is sponsored by P3R because they are gearing up for the marathon. The Dick's Sporting Goods Pittsburgh Marathon weekend of events all goes down May 2nd and 3rd. There's the big race and also a half you can run or walk it, the 5K, kids events, and more. So whether you're a first-timer hoping to push yourself to new limits or a grizzled ultra marathoner with tons of experience, there is space for yins. Use code CityCast15 to save 15% off any registration. That's thepittsburghmarathon.com. Use code CityCast15 for 15% off any event. This is CityCast Pittsburgh. I'm Megan Harris, and here's what Pittsburgh's talking about. Do y'all have a favorite Pittsburgh-themed Valentine?
Little conversation hearts from Love Pittsburgh, like the little candies, but my favorite one's the one that says Jagoff. I like that it's a term of endearment.
I think my favorite one ever was from City Paper. They did like a whole series on them, and there was one about like inviting someone into your Squirrel Hill tunnel. It was so funny.
My Squirrel Hill tunnel is open for traffic. I believe that was the exact language. Yes. These were going to be mine too. The City Paper Valentines were so great. My personal favorite was I want to mount you like French fries on salad.
I don't think I ever saw that one.
Amazing.
Yeah, a bunch of these are actually on display in my house right now. So I feel a lot of affection toward them.
'Tis the season. R.I.P. City Paper. I hope you come back in some form. I am here with CityCast Mallory Falk and Sophia Lowe talking about our tips and recommendations for making the most out of Pittsburgh this month, this February. So it's usually stuff we are excited to do, things we want to eat, and events we're looking forward to getting to. What are y'all looking forward to doing this month?
So I'll get into some frivolous recommendations in a second here, but I just want to step back and acknowledge the world is on fire right now. So if you are wanting to spend this month getting involved in the community, neighbors helping keep each other safe, we have an article up on our website now with a bunch of organizations supporting immigrant communities, things you can either benefit from or plug into. So definitely check that out at pittsburgh.citycast.fm.
And while you're there, I'd also plug our article explaining how to get involved in the Snow Angels program. Apparently going to be real relevant through the whole month of February. The snow will remain. So if you have the ability to maybe pitch in, shovel a little more for a neighbor, it's a really cool program. You should check it out.
Totally. And one of those organizations supporting immigrants and anyone who's, worried about ICE, that's Frontline Dignity. I just want to plug that they're doing more rapid response trainings this month. I'm definitely going to try to check one out. Their dates haven't been released yet, but they update their socials, especially their Instagram, all the time. So that's one to look out for.
Yeah, we'll let you know when we see it, both in our newsletter, our website, and probably here on the pod too. But there's a lot to do this month if you need a distraction, if you just need to feel joy in spite of the dumpster fire of it all. So we're going to talk about some of that too.
Yes, you can volunteer and help your neighbors, but also have some fun. One thing I definitely want to check out is the Church Arcade. Have either of you ever heard of this? Like, they literally just had their grand opening weekend, so very new.
This is not on my radar.
No, this is brand new to me.
Okay, so this is a retro arcade in an old church in Duquesne. So they, like I said, literally just wrapped their opening weekend, January 31st to February 1st. They had a bunch of tournaments. It seemed like a whole big shindig. I want to go when I can sort of play everything and don't have to wait my turn. Because they have such a long list of games, things that I'm super into, like Space Invaders, Street Fighter. Like I said, it tends to be more retro.
And when you say arcade, you mean like the adult size box machines where you like play in like a group of people?
Yeah, or by yourself. I'm assuming some of these are like 1-player, 2-player type things.
Yeah, I guess I mean like usually, I don't usually go to those spaces completely alone to pass the time, but I'm sure there are people who do. Not shading you if you are.
Yes, but like the big type of machines, you just pay like a fee to enter, and then you can play as many games as your heart desires. Nice. It's not like a pay by machine type of thing. They also have like pinball, skee ball, air hockey, claw machines. So definitely stuff you can do with other people.
Wait, is a claw machine free? Can I practice? I've always been terrible at that.
Oh, that's a good question.
I want to learn how to effectively do a claw machine.
Oh, then I might really park up until I win.
I know that we as Pittsburghers tend to like claim we do things better than anyone else sometimes when we
absolutely do not.
But I do think I am willing to put money on Pittsburgh transforming old churches into cool new venues better than anybody in the nation. And so I am excited that we now have a former church that is an arcade.
Yes, my type of house of worship. One thing that I'm super excited for, if you are super into these kind of games or super good at them, it sounds like every 3 months they're going to pick 10 games, and anyone who has high scores at the end of that period, like one of the top names on the screen, is going to be entered in a raffle. So I will definitely be parked there. I'm really good at Space Invaders, so that's what I'm going for. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Now people can challenge me.
I hope they do.
Stay away.
Genuinely. Of course, February also includes Valentine's Day, the romance moment, but also Galentine's, if that's your thing. There's so many events in our feed. We're going to cherry pick a couple here.
Yeah, there are a few markets that are coming up I'm excited for. So Sexy Time Market at Spirit on February 7th. This is one I'm trying to get to. It's hosted by the Queer Craft Market and Pittsburgh Vintage Mixer. I've been to some of the Queer Craft Market's events before. I think they're all great. This one is adults only, so don't bring your kids. Yeah, 21 plus. But there's also a Valentine's pop-up at Schoolhouse Market on the same day. And then there is a market and DIY party at Workshop PGH on February 8th. They always do such fun hands-on activities.
I love Workshop. Like it reminds me of how much creativity there is in the world and how little I know about most of it. It's fun to see people at the height of their like hobbies, and in some cases livelihoods too.
Absolutely.
Another market style event, this one's ticketed, is something called Galentine's Favorite Things. So it's going to be at Armful of Flowers, but it includes some friends of the pod, Repepi Winery and the Cheese Queen. So always fun to see what they kind of curate as an experience. And then a couple of craft nights, separate from Workshop, also ticketed, just to put on your radar. There's a resin workshop where you get to make like a keepsake. I feel like I see resin stuff all the time, and I would love to like at least have a glimpse as to how to do that sort of thing. That one's going to be at CoStar Brewing on February 8th. And then there's a cocktail class at Con Alma downtown. Con Alma has some of my favorite cocktails in this whole city. So I think it would be really fun to learn how to do it. That one's on the pricier end at $87 a ticket, but you take home stuff. You learn how to make a cocktail. I think they give you like fresh made syrup at the end of it, like for your cocktails or mocktails. So that part seems kind of fun.
And I know Con Alma is struggling a little financially right now. They've been having a fundraiser to try to stay alive. So if you want to see them continue as a spot downtown, then you can do this cool cocktail class and I think also help keep them around.
Yeah, definitely.
A couple things I'm excited for. There is Meet Cute, a dating game show happening at Bottle Rocket on February 11th. I mean, anytime something is taking place at Bottle Rocket in Allentown, you know it's going to be great. Their programming is just across the board fantastic. But I saw that people could submit themselves or their friends to participate in this dating game show. There's going to be some Yinzer matchmaking, as they describe it, live on stage. So that sounds like a really fun way to celebrate the season. And then something I often do on actual Valentine's Day, February 14th, of course, is go to Valentine's on Ice at the Shenley skating rink, because it just feels like this very old school, wholesome way to celebrate the holiday. You get to skate to romantic music, like including, at least the times I've been there, 90s romance pop like Backstreet Boys. I can't guarantee that's what they're playing this year, but I've enjoyed that. And you get roses and chocolates with your admission ticket. So it's just a very sweet way to spend the holiday.
I've been to this, but I left bitter because the couple in front of me won like the grand raffle prize for like a spa weekend. It was like the biggest package and I was really jealous. I mean, they deserved it because I heard them talking to like the person giving out the tickets and they were like, oh yeah, we just got married. We're newlyweds. But I was so close to getting a spa day. So sad for me.
I'm also seeing that this one's a little bit later too, like 7 to 9 p.m. for the Valentine's Day portion of it. So it's also kind of cool sometimes to see these spaces. I say this as a parent, that when they're not totally flooded with children. So that part can be kind of fun too. A little bit of a date night.
Totally.
February is also Black History Month. So we've got some ways to commemorate that too.
Something on my radar is the city is honoring John B. Vachon and his family and their legacy this month. So Vachon moved here after the War of 1812. He was a conductor for the Underground Railroad. He started the Pittsburgh Anti-Slavery Society, and he founded the city's first school for Black youth. So truly has done a ton. And then members of his family also have their own really incredible legacies and work. So there is going to be a display all month long at the City County building downtown, honoring the work that they've done. There is a public reception on February 6th. So encourage folks to go check that out and learn more about their impact.
Something on my list is a preparation workshop that's inspired by Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower. She's probably my favorite author ever, and Parable of the Sower is such a well-written book, very devastating, but very good. I think it kind of can give you a roadmap for, how to deal with today's issues and everything going on in our country. So this is part of the Carnegie Library's Black History Month programming. So this workshop is going to be at the Homewood branch on February 7th. So this workshop just sort of blends the ideas from Octavia Butler's book and real life survival strategies that Black people have used all throughout history. So I think that this is going to be a cool opportunity to just sit with other people and think about how to respond to what's happening politically right now.
I want to shout out a community art project in Hazelwood. So this is part of Art Excursions Unlimited. It's a little bit more hands-on. So they're doing this community art thing. It's completely free, where they're going to be creating something that then is displayed in the neighborhood. I feel like Hazelwood is so good at this kind of thing, organizing from within and celebrating their own excellence, as they should. This is going to be on February 12th. Like I said, everything free. So you can kind of go and get your hands dirty. Not a lot of details about what kind of art it's going to be, but I imagine it's probably going to be something a little bit bigger. I'm pumped to see what they come up with.
Same here.
And then there is never a bad time to check out the August Wilson Cultural Center downtown, but they are taking part in a downtown gallery crawl on February 27th, so you could make it a whole event. Nia Sue of Dance Moms fame, if anyone else like me watched Dance Moms back in the day and now regrets watching child abuse unfold on television, but she is going to be there speaking and doing a book signing, so you can go check her out, hear from her, and take part in this gallery crawl.
Actually, one more resource that's available to us all year long. You can check it out anytime, but if you need to feel spurred, of course, February is a wonderful time. The Heinz History Center's From Slavery to Freedom exhibit is just so powerful. I saw the Heinz's director of African American Studies, Sam Black. He's so smart and so cool, walking around in the Strip District the other day, and it took everything I had not to completely fangirl at him.
He probably would have liked that.
Yeah, scream, "Hi, Sam," across the street.
I love your work.
Truly, though, he's so good at what he does, and that exhibit, it's been around for a while, but it really makes me catch my breath every single time I go through it. Another one, actually, I was recently reminded of the New Pittsburgh Courier's archives. We've talked a lot leading up to it about that media panel through Pittsburgh Tomorrow. Rod Doss, their publisher, currently, he was on stage with me, and his perspective, I just think, is so valuable in this moment where we're talking about what's happening with the Post-Gazette and the media landscape, and the New Pittsburgh Courier has truly weathered so much over the years. And they have one of the richest archives of news materials because the Courier was just a powerhouse newspaper back in the day. They hired so many wonderful photographers and journalists. It was distributed all over the nation. If you have not done a Wikipedia deep dive on who they are and their importance in the nation, I can't encourage it enough. But you can also check out the actual work. I know you can find some of it on newspapers.com and through the Carnegie Library system, but it's a good moment to reflect on who they are. And if you're worried about Pittsburgh media, also do a little bit of a history deep dive because they told a lot of really cool stories over the years. So let's move into some food and drink recommendations. What are y'all looking forward to eating this month?
Well, February is also Lunar New Year, so I'm going to use 2 weeks to feast on so much food. My favorite is noodles. They symbolize long life. So I'll be bopping around a lot of Pittsburgh to try to eat as many types of noodles as possible. Everyday noodles in Squirrel Hill is probably like my favorite ever. I always save any extra noodle broth I have to just eat with rice the next day because it is just so good. But I've also heard such good things about Ramen King. I just need to brave the night to get there. So I think this is probably the time. We also did an episode about other goodies that you can get around Lunar New Year and different Asian restaurants to support in Pittsburgh. So you can check that out too if you're looking for inspirations. And then there are a couple banquets with local organizations if you want to celebrate with other people. They're mostly Chinese organizations. There's a Lunar New Year gala on Saturday, February 7th downtown. And then the OCA banquet is on Saturday, February 21st at Sichuan Spice. That's in Oakland.
Celebrate the year of the fire horse.
Yeah, that just sounds very cool too.
It really does.
Another thing to celebrate, perhaps the end of dry January. So there is an event happening at the Mattress Factory on Saturday, February 7th called Imbibe Northside. So you can try drinks from local distilleries, wineries, cider spots, all from around the neighborhood. Mostly alcoholic, but there are going to be mocktails there from friend of the pod, Low Bar, who we just had on an episode talking about the best dive bars in the city. So they truly know their stuff. So lots of nice drinks to try.
I think I've been to this before. I'm looking at their event page. If this is what I'm thinking what it is, like, that was so much fun. Like, truly a blast. I'm excited about this. I don't think I realized it was like a thing they did regularly.
I'm also seeing you get a little souvenir glass, so that's fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of a basic bee. Like a souvenir glass will lure me to an event.
Honestly, I'd be lured by Low Bar's cocktails just because...
Mocktails. They're doing the mocktails.
Oh, the mocktails. I'm sorry. Because most of the time it's just like really hard to find. They have a private rental space. So, you know, unless you're renting out the space, they're hard to get to. Or they do sort of like...
really fancy weddings.
They do catering services.
Yeah.
So I'm not catering a whole service for myself. So, you know, rare time to try them.
Lisa and Aubrey, they were so much fun. Definitely a cool opportunity to check them out. Of course, you can go get dinner for Valentine's Day. There's no shortage of romantic places here in our city. We've covered a few of them before. I feel like when we were talking about this off mic, like we definitely skewed towards like DIY, easy pop-in places or like making or buying pizza. Like you can tell what kind of like mental space our team is in this moment.
I also just feel like at this point, it's kind of late to get a reservation.
True,
I tried a couple weeks
too.
ago and couldn't get one at the places I wanted. So
I wasn't looking for Valentine's Day. I was like making reservations towards the end of the month. So I didn't even think about that. I'm sure you're right.
That's the pro tip, I think, is choose a different day. If you want to go out for a fancy meal at a restaurant where it's hard to get reservations, choose to celebrate Valentine's Day on a different day in February.
But it's so fun to like go to these spaces and get something fancy and pink or red. Like, I don't know. I understand like wanting to have the big moment too.
I do too, but if you want to kind of split the difference and, you know, get something fancy but do it at home and, you know, skip the reservation thing, Pane Pronto is doing a take and bake kit. I've tried their take and bake kits before and they're super easy and super delicious. So the Valentine's Day version includes bread and whipped ricotta, a beet and burrata salad, scallop and shrimp pasta, chicken cacciatore with polenta, and then cookies. And then you can just add on stuff too, because anytime I'm in Pane Pronto, there's just so many like goodies and more cookies. And while I'm in line waiting to pick up my take and bake kit, they are trying to upsell me, and it's so easy to upsell me on a little treat.
They truly have like an elite counter service situation there. Like it's so hard not to leave with more than you intended.
I like to go the takeout route for Valentine's Day and specifically heart-shaped pizza. I know places sometimes charge extra for this, but I don't know. I'm willing to splurge on this occasion. So what I've done a couple times in the past is get the heart-shaped pizza from Pizzeria David, which you can get as a full heart or as a broken heart, maybe if you are mourning a breakup during the holiday and this is the way you would like to mark this occasion. Highly recommend.
Maybe that's how you split the pizza with your partner. Make sure everyone gets an equal amount.
At that point, it becomes like a friendship bracelet situation, you know, where like each one takes a half.
The only downside, I think, to getting takeout from Pizzeria David is it is hard to find a spot to temporarily park in the Strip District.
You go with your partner and someone jumps out of the car, grabs the pizza, and then goes back in. Yeah.
That's true. I guess the first time I did this, I was surprising my partner and we had a newborn at home that he was with. So it ended up being more of an adventure than I was hoping for.
I like that we stayed in the D'Anoia's Greater Family in the Strip District. They are a great restaurant here in Pittsburgh, and obviously have extended their footprint a little bit. If you are looking to go out somewhere, like maybe even just to grab a cocktail or something, consider a restaurant that doesn't take reservations. So like Lorelei, Apteca, Margot, like there are places around the city. Usually that can be like a little challenging, but in this moment, I think it could be like the way you slip into some like delicious thing without necessarily having to try too hard.
And one non-Valentine's recommendation that I'm excited for this month, there is a DIY cookbook workshop happening on February 18th at the East End Co-op with the Center for Creative Reuse. So they're going to walk you through making a cookbook out of fun reclaimed materials. You'll learn some simple bookbinding techniques. And then they're going to bring all these different materials so you can decorate the cover and personalize it. And so I have like a bunch of random recipes that live in like a collection of Google Docs and PDFs. And I haven't been able to find one good spot to organize everything. So I feel like this would be great that I could kind of have one centralized place where I can flip through all of the recipes I've accumulated over the years.
Totally. My collection of recipes is a bunch of TikTok bookmarks that I'm very bad at sorting. So it is such a pain to find anything. I need to get it all down in one place.
Last up, some fun events to mark your February calendar for. Usually we do these somewhat chronologically, so you can kind of like follow in your own mind. I'm going to kick it off. February 7th, there's the Three Rock Chili Bowl. So that's Three Rivers Outdoor Company in Regent Square. They're doing their 5th annual chili competition. I fully thought this was going to be just like a pandemic era thing, like an opportunity to get folks together. Love that they have kept this going. So you can be a cook, you can be a taster. There's a raffle ticket if you sign up for that. I think it's $15 in advance.
But I looked into this. I think the free raffle ticket is if you bring your own bowl and spoon. So they're thinking smart. Environmental.
Yeah. Okay. That fits within the brand. I love that. But if you want to cook, if you want to enter your chili, that's free. You can just show up.
I thought about it because I just like a competition, but I don't have a good chili recipe. Maybe next year.
I have a pretty fire chili recipe. I don't know if I want to share it. Like it's so much work. They do have awards, and there's a vegetarian category too, a most creative category. Love that. If you're thinking food competitions too, I would also throw out that the Southside Soup Contest is always in February too. I think the date this year is February 28th. As we are recording this, tickets are not out yet. Whenever they do, they go in like 5 to 15 minutes. But
I tried to get one, last
such
year.
A fun event.
I think I like mulled a little too hard on the price and then they were immediately gone. So I think the price is in fact worth it then.
Yeah, it's a blast, but it's also rolling the dice so hard because for Southside Soup, you are outside for hours. And some years it is 70 degrees and some years it is 15. And you just don't know what event you're signing up for in the moment.
Well, if it's, 15 degrees, at least it's a soup thing. You'll stay warm.
Will you? If you're riding around on a golf cart in the South Side? Okay. I still recommend it, though.
Well, next event coming from me indoors, so you will be warm. It's on February 13th, and it is a drag punk anti-Valentine's Day at Glitterbox Theater. So the event's being put on by Tempt Fet, and this includes live drag performances. There are raffles, and then I think the best part of this is that there's like a face paint makeup station thing there, so they'll help you also put on your very best punk look if you're not good at punk makeup. So you'll still look great.
I've got a recommendation if you're looking for another way to get involved in the community. So on February 15th, there is a harm reduction kit making event with Prevention Point and Auto Body Shop. So you get to volunteer and hang out with two great organizations. Auto Body Shop is all about expanding access to reproductive rights. We've actually had them on the show before talking about the van where they drive out and provide resources to folks all over the city. And then Prevention Point does a whole bunch of things to make sure that anyone who uses drugs is safe. So, for example, they operate a mobile clinic that provides medical services and harm reduction supplies. So if you want to help them put together these kits that they offer, this will be in the Bloomcraft building in Oakland. I hope I'm saying that name correctly, but you can help put together kits for your neighbors.
Also, those two organizations are just like really rad and fun. So it don't, just because it's about medical supplies and like harm reduction, like please don't get like, I don't think it'll be a serious thing. Like it is, the topics are serious and the need is serious, but these people are really fun. So it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, yeah. And look out for the Auto Body Shop's van. Just generally, they're giving out things like Narcan, condoms, stickers too. So yes, I think that very much speaks to the serious stuff, but fun. Another event I'm looking forward to is on February 17th. This is a virtual event with Grow Pittsburgh where you learn how to lead a community garden and do like community outreach for that. So like assembling the team and all the logistics. But even if you aren't part of a community garden, I think it's maybe worth showing up just to learn a little bit more about them. Like I am not part of a community garden, but my backyard garden is very much a thing that I do with my friends. So even if you're looking to set up something more casual like that, I think that could be really helpful. And if you're completely new to gardening, Grow Pittsburgh is also doing a beginner gardeners class on February 19th. It's just a good time to start thinking about this kind of stuff if you're into gardening. Like I know there's still snow on the ground, so it feels so weird, but I've been like ordering my seeds so they come on in time, and I know seed swaps will start in March. So planning ahead just gives you an idea of what you might want to look for.
It's a nice way to just remember that the snow will not always be here and there is beautiful weather to come.
The snow's beautiful in its way. It's just a lot of it.
That's true. We haven't gotten to the like quite to the gray slushy disaster stage yet.
It depends on where you're looking. Somewhere it's full disaster, or like, especially if there's a lot of dogs in your corner of the neighborhood.
Apologies, Zero has been contributing to that.
February 17th is one of my favorite events of the year. That's the date this year of the Mardi Gras party going down at the Elks Lodge on the north side. It's always just such a blast and a goofy way to celebrate Carnival and all of that in Pittsburgh, which I know, we're not as known for that as southern states, but it's always a good time. And it means that we are almost at the start of fish fry season here in Pittsburgh.
I'm so excited. I think I only hit up one or two places last year, and I need to do better.
Yeah. So fish fries always start right after Fat Tuesday, which is the countdown to Easter, I guess, if you follow the Christian calendar. Either way, if you love to eat delicious food made by many, many grannies here in the Pittsburgh region, always look for the homemade pierogi. We'll probably be talking about fish fries more. But I want to shout it out. We're almost there. We're almost to the fish fries.
And one final event to shout out on Saturday, February 21st, Pittsburgh Social Health is hosting a Connection Expo. So if you're not familiar with Pittsburgh Social Health, they are all about helping people make friends in the city of Pittsburgh, plug into cool activities in the city of Pittsburgh. We had them on the show before, so you can check out that episode. But this expo is going to be at Vellum Fermentation on the south side. And they're just going to have a ton of different organizations, nonprofits, clubs there. So you can learn about who's doing what in Pittsburgh and where you would like to plug in. They're going to have hands-on activities too, like silent disco, chess, yoga, bingo. And we are actually going to be there. So if you want to see us while learning about lots of other cool groups that exist in Pittsburgh, again, that is February 21st at Vellum Fermentation. Come say hi to us and learn about all this fun stuff that you can do here in our city.
I'm very excited for this. This is giving me like college activities fair vibe. And I love sampling little things without making a commitment. Hopefully I do make a commitment somewhere, but I also just love to poke around and see what's out there.
And if you want to come meet us, please do bring a friend, convince them to listen to us. We always want more subscribers, more friends, more neighbors in the neighborhood.
Yes. And we are also planning a neighbors only event in early March. So that makes February the perfect time to join our neighbors program. If you haven't already, you get lots of other cool perks like ad-free listening. So you can join at membership.citycast.fm.
Yeah, that March event, we think it's going to end up being ticketed. We're pretty sure it's going to have a food component. It's clearly still in the planning stages, but we're really stoked for this one. But you got to be a neighbor if you want to come. So sign up soon. And that's all for today here on CityCast Pittsburgh. We'll be back tomorrow with more news from around the city. Talk to you soon. Okay, I feel like a dork, but I don't actually know what punk makeup is. This is enticing to me mostly because I just want to see what that looks like. I feel like I came of age in like a more firmly emo, like millennial, like kind of look, like goth kid kind of era. I know it's not, but it's not the same.
I'm sure they could also help you do a great goth look, though, if that's what your jam is.
It's less about jam than it is about familiarity, you know?